We can make a start. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the Designing the Future of Additive Manufacturing Electronics event. Yesterday, we had a very productive session where we had a couple talks that were basically introducing the field and giving you some recent examples of advancements in the field of additive manufactured electronics. And after this, we then collectively went into breakout rooms and we looked to identify a range of different challenges facing the industry. And a number of these rooms were incredibly productive, and we've produced a number of challenges, some of them that I would have not considered before. So what I wanted to do before we actually start the session today is basically to just quickly highlight the different challenges that we're able to pull out from these rooms. So this is in no particular order, but through these the work groups yesterday, we identified 8 common challenges. The first one related to computational design tools, and I'm glad to see an event that's focused on design for additive manufacturing network. One of the major challenges was actually bringing out the design. And another challenge that popped up quite a bit is advancements in materials and material performance. Something else that occurred, and I think it popped up in quite a few rooms, was the aspect of sustainability, recyclability. You know, what do we do once we've finished producing these devices? How do we make sure that they don't end up damaging the environment? The next thing that popped up on a couple of the boards was points around process innovation and all the requirements around improving the manufacturing techniques themselves. We had a few points on standards and policies and how do we bring everybody together and to speak to align ourselves to specific requirements. Another one that popped up is because this is quite a multidisciplinary topic. You're bringing together designers and engineers and people involved in additive manufacturing research is how do you educate people so that they're able to have all the tools to be effective in this field. There was some really interesting points yesterday about integration with the other aspects of the digital revolution. So we've given this a topic of the circular economy. And then lastly, this was across a number of the boards, things like testing, quality control, reliability, and repeatability. So we've given that the general title, quality and reliability. So what I'd like to ask everybody that's currently joining us today is to follow the link to the Miro board, which Patrick will put into the chat, and we just give you 5 minutes to vote for these, basically to pick the top 3 that you believe are the biggest challenges facing yourself or the most important challenges to your work. And we're going to basically use this voting to also determine what sort of breakout rooms that we use this afternoon to determine how many breakout rooms and where people are moved to. So we'll be able to pop these results up in real time in the next 5 minutes. So if I could get everybody starting to do the voting, while I just reiterate some of the motivations for the event and the event format for today. So while everybody's voting, I just wanted to remind you why we've brought everybody together today. And I'm really delighted to welcome together so many individuals from different communities. It's great to work towards a multidisciplinary challenges. So the aim of this event is really to educate, inform, and inspire individuals through discussing these latest trends and advancements. Also, collectively, we're looking to identify these multidisciplinary challenges that are inhibiting the wider adoption of 3D printed electronics. One of the key things that many people are interested in is collaborating. So we need to provide a platform to bridge the gaps in terms of terminology, research drivers, and requirements to stimulate the collaborations. Also, electronics is a very diverse industry, and we need to identify areas the UK should focus their efforts into, especially if we want to generate the maximum benefit for society, economy, and the environment. And lastly, I'm keen that we broaden engagement across industry, RTOs, and academia, because this cannot be done in isolation. Just to quickly cover the event format for day 2. So we're currently voting on these main challenges, and then we've got 3 really interesting case study presentations from European Space Agency, Q5D Technologies, and the Compound Semiconductor Applications Catapult. After these case study presentations, we will have an international guest speaker and one of the pioneers really in the field of multifunctional additive manufacturing, Professor Eric McDonald from the University of Texas, El Paso. And then we'll finish up with the workshop sessions where we're looking to collectively address these challenges. So we're asking people to pick their preferred 2 challenges and go into these rooms and work on those challenges together. One other thing is it's really useful for us to understand the composition of the audience, you know, who's from industry, who's from academia, who's from the design community, who's from electronics, etc. So we've got a little bit of an icebreaker survey. It only takes a minute or so to complete. So if you have time to do that, that would be brilliant. Patrick, how are we doing with the voting?
Thank you. So I think we have still 1 minute left. We still 1 minute left, and I can see that people are casting their vote either by using the voting button, but also by just writing down their preference. So I think it would be quite interesting to see the results.
Great. So you'll be able to share your screen, and we can hopefully show this in real time then.
Yes, absolutely. I'm just waiting for the countdown to finish, and then I will share my screen. Yeah, there are 50 seconds left. Please just if you have voted just by writing down. There is a plus icon close to the words, close to the different challenges, and you have 3 votes available. So we would really appreciate if you could click in the different icons and then cast your vote and then submit your vote to us. I can see that the My Robot is very lively. So what I will do now, I will share my screen and then wait with you the end of the end of the voting. Okay, so we have finished the voting session. And here are the results. So we can see that the first place there is material advancements. And it will also add these votes, then computational design tools, quality and reliability, process innovation, and sustainability. Education challenges, circular economy, and standard and policies, they have received limited votes. I guess from what I can see, both from the results as well as the written votes.
Okay, so looking at this, Patrick, it looks like we've got sort of the need maybe to run 5 breakout rooms today. I wanted to just highlight that some of these things around educational challenges, the circular economy, those are probably cross-cutting themes that will be covered also through other events through the Design for Additive Manufacturing Network. So when people are working on the working groups today, please remember that we want to focus these challenges specifically to the theme of electronics and not just to the wider additive manufacturing community, because these will be covered elsewhere. Okay, excellent. So what I'd propose now is that Patrick's going to be putting together a system that allows people to just basically state their preference for the rooms. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of an ad hoc process, even with technology nowadays. We're still having to do some of this manually, but it should allow people to go to those rooms. So Patrick will post another board up very soon. And what we can do now is we can move on to the case study presentations.